Hey beauties, morning to you. Beautiful people. Last evening I was watching the news and the beautiful people. I was listening to Senator Damion Crawford speaking. He was really, vociferous. And he vocalized the reality that parents are seeing the reality. Students are seeing the reality. The opposition is seeing the reality, except the presiding government, that we are having a crisis in the educational system, especially in light of the fact that a number of teachers have resigned because they cannot manage the salaries, the benefits, by extension, whatever maybe maladies they may face, be it abuse, psychologically, verbally, emotionally. And we know that these things tend to happen in the workplaces. There is a book that I would encourage people to read by Nami and Nami, N-A-M-I-E, Nami and Nami. I don't know if they're married or brother, sister, siblings or whatnot. And shortly after, the news showed or imitated Minister Fayval Williams' speech. She was talking at some sort of a press conference or whatnot, and she said there is no crisis, basically, that they have able, capable, as a matter of fact, I think she had used the word like expert teachers in the field. And immediately my mind ran on that all is well, basically, as it regards the teachers, the educational system, that things are great, things are good, things are fantastic, they're fantabulous. I'm putting in these different adjectives on the basis of what she has promulgated. And I began to reminisce about a week and a half ago when I was listening to the present JTA president. His name slipped me just now, but he was speaking with one of the TV hosts on television, Jamaica, in particular Neville. And Neville asked a question, is it that some subjects would have to be basically dropped because of a lack of expert teachers in the field? And basically he said yes. If we don't have these expert teachers in certain subjects that require that, not to say that all subjects don't require expertise, but you understand our expertise, you understand that there's some that are a little bit more technical, and one has to be as it were frugal. When you're frugal with your money, you have to be very careful, succinct and sweet and systematic. There are standard operating procedures, let me put it that way, that one should follow in order for the child to grasp the nature, the etymology, the basis and the understanding of what that subject, is all about, what it entails. So I'm saying to myself, if he's a JTA president and he has said something diametrically different from what Minister Fayval Williams is, then we do have a problem. We really and truly have a problem in our society, in particular the education system. There is a problem. There is a clear-cut dichotomy in beliefs, in what is promulgated, in what is seen. And the JTA president, I'm sure, would, engage a lot of the teachers. We'll see what is going on. He's more on the ground, based on what I'm thinking his job description entails. A little bit more in touch and in tune with the school system, in touch and in tune with the teachers and their plights. So I'm not sure how is it that he mentioned what he mentioned, that there are no expert teachers at some sort, not none, no expert, maybe in some subjects, and some subjects would have to be dropped, while Minister Fayval Williams is saying something else. I heard and Senator Damion Crawford say everyone else but the presiding government is seeing that there is a crisis and possibly crises in the education system, because it means if there are no teachers, no education, really. I think we have gone crazy. We have gone mad, because it seems as if this is seeming like a dolly house, like a patty shop running in this country. Because I cannot understand how almost 2 weeks ago or less, almost 2 weeks ago, the JT president has promulgated something diametrically different from what I heard Minister Fayval Williams has promulgated. And I'm listening to Senator Crawford, a man in the education system, because he's an opposite spokesman on such. He teaches, I've seen him, I've watched him on, social media. So he has an idea, and I'm sure that he communicates with teachers, he communicates with students, he communicates with the parents as a teacher lecturer himself. So he's fully aware of what is going on. I don't understand how is it that the presiding government is holding a view that the masses are not holding similar view. The masses are not holding similar view. This is crazy. It is as though you're taking the people for complete nincompoops. Minister Fayval Williams, you're living in an illusion. You're living in an illusion. There is a crisis, possibly crises, because it means if we don't have expertise teachers in particular subjects that are requisite for the growth and development of the country or businesses, on a smaller circle, and they're not properly trained, what will happen? It will crumble, it will fall, and our country will not prosper, it will not be fruitful financially and socially. It will decay even further. I was listening to the JT president, and he was more than concerned just a week and a half ago or thereabout, and that some subjects would have to be dropped because they don't have the requisite or the required teachers necessary for that particular subject that requires it, in a sense. For years, I've often said that Jamaica struggles, by and large, not in all schools, with solid, sound mathematical teachers, and some of the foreign languages like Spanish. That's one of the reasons why I probably don't even like it. I had that look many moons ago. I had one I don't know what to say she was teaching. No disrespect. It's just a reality. I'm keeping it real. I don't understand what you mean, Minister Williams, when you say that we do have the expert teachers, unless they came in overnight quickly and we're going to see some foreign teachers. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because a few days ago, the JTA president had said something else on a TV program. The opposition is saying something else, and the opposition spokesman is in the system. He teaches, and I'm sure he has conversations with teachers. Similarly, I'm sure that you must have heard the cries. You see what is happening in 2 weeks or 11 days. You had 427 teachers demitting office. They have resigned. That's a lot. That's a crisis, which can turn out into a crisis, meaning more than one situation, for those who don't understand what I mean. What is happening in this country? What's really going on? It makes no sense, Mr. Williams, for people to be duped and be given a false illusion of what is not so. It must be daunting. It must be difficult. It must be frightening. But keep it real with the Jamaican people. We're living in an era now where everything is now on social media. We see everything. It's like you can put your hand over there, you're in France. You put your hand over there, you're in Germany. You put your hand up there, you're in South Africa. Sort of a situation, meaning you see everything. You're hearing everything. Nothing is kept. Nothing is no more tabooed. We see it. And because of that, people have gone wacky. They have gone wild. We call in light darkness, darkness light. People are turning into all sorts of things, changing who they are, made by God to something else. We see all of what is happening. The plate is opened. It is full and it is open. You see everything clearly in it. There is a crisis, Minister Williams. There is a crisis. There is a crisis. You don't have this is a small country, so don't even compare America with us, because you can take Jamaica and drop it in probably California and you can't find it, perhaps, and some other states. There is a crisis. So when you have 400 and odd teachers leaving in 2 weeks, and prior you had more teachers leaving, it is a crisis for a small country, which has turned out into a crisis, Minister Williams. We better make our calling and election sure, because we can't continue on this pathway. I guarantee you, if we don't fix the education system, it will affect you guys. You may think it will not, but it will eventually. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.